Hello folks, I have here a radiator from a Morris Minor. If you've been following my videos, you will have seen this one before when I compared it to a modern reproduction radiator. I believe that this is an original Morris factory radiator, and if it was, which I've no reason to doubt, I mean, that to me is a giveaway. These numbers here, and that may, I may be wrong, but that may be the year of manufacture, 62, and it came from a 1962 car, so that could well be it. And if it is, it was the Morris Radiator Works. The radiator branch was in Osberton. Whether that was still going in the 60s, I don't know, but Morris made their own radiators, certainly up to a point. So, as you can see, I've stripped it down. All I've done is remove the old paint and any verdigris from the brass. First class materials, as you can see. And really, all I'm going to do today on the video is just show you a few things to look out for when you are stripping a radiator and refurbishing it by a lick of paint and cleaning it out. So, first things first. What is the function of a radiator? Well, the function of a radiator is to dissipate heat from the engine coolant, and it does that through these series of fins. And what we see in the middle there, in between the fins, these are the fins, these ribbed areas. What we have in the middle are tubes. Now the water is carried inside these tubes, and the fins are there to effectively provide a heat sink to dissipate that heat. So there's a water pump on the engine, and you've got a bottom hose and a top hose. Cool water leaves the radiator, is pumped around the engine, and it comes back in via the top hose, because of course, as everybody knows or ought to know, heat rises. So that's why the radiator is always hot at the top and cool at the bottom. So what should you be examining when you have removed a radiator? Well, you need to have a very, very close look at the fins. First of all, if there's any sign of corrosion, and you can do that just by carefully, just gently running your thumb or finger along the fins. If any of those disintegrate or come to pieces, then there is no point doing anything else to it other than sending it in for a professional recolor, because as soon as corrosion sets in the fins, it's on borrowed time. It loses its efficiency, and you need all the cooling you can get. So provided the fins are in good condition, like this, they call this the core, what the entire caboodle there in the middle, they can be renewed, as I said. Providing the fins are in good condition, the next thing to do is clean them out. You get a load of dead insects, seeds, straw, all sorts of stuff clogging up the fins, which reduces the efficiency. I've already done this on mine. I've cleaned the fins out by using compressed air and some tweezers to carefully remove the more stubborn articles. And as you can see there, the cardboard behind it, you can see right through it. So that is a nice clear core, and I know that air is going to flow freely through it. What else should you look out for? Any defects on the joints here, they can be made good by soldering. Any damage to the frame at the sides, again quite simple to put right. Any rust, because the frame is usually steel, treat it with Cure Rust or some other rust inhibitor. Any proprietary brand will do. And then look inside, have a look inside the core. I don't know if you can see that, but that will give you a good indication as to the state of things. A quick rough and ready check to test for a blocked core is to shine a light in the bottom hose aperture there. If you put a light in there, a little lead lamp, dangle it down on some wires, it only need to be a simple bulb, you should be able to see light coming up through the tubes. And that's a rough and ready check, but you can, if it is blocked or you suspect it to be blocked, you can have them cleaned out chemically. One thing that does help a lot is regular coolant changes, so antifreeze, which has a 2 or 3 year life, and on these old motors you want to use the blue antifreeze, I believe. I'm thinking off the top of my head here, but I believe it's ethylene glycol. It's just your ordinary blue antifreeze, and use that with a mixture of soft water, and do make sure it's soft water, because hard water contains all sorts of minerals that can cause lime scale, as you will have seen on kettles, etc. So yeah, that more or less is it in a nutshell. I'm going to paint this now. I'm quite satisfied with its condition, although it's not been tested holding coolant. I've got no reason to believe it won't work. It appears essentially sound to me. So yes, I'm going to give it a new lick of paint, and the next time you see this, it'll look absolutely spiffing. Thank you.